here's the thing. If you want to be really good at this business, you got to communicate. You got to be very fast with communication. It's not like, oh yeah, I got back to you at some time. It has to be fast. It has to be very fast, and it has to be with a lot of positivity, with a lot of encouragement, with a lot, none of this like, oh, I don't know who you are, so prove to me that you're worth my time type of thing. That's not how John works. But by the way, that's how most people in this business work. John doesn't. Yeah. He's got a really huge heart for that. He's got a really huge cat that was at the start of the show.
It is hidden in the way you spend your time every single day. It's hidden in the way you spend your time every single day. You can't hide from the work that you did or didn't do. It is impossible for you to hide from the work that you did or you didn't do. Your results will show and tell on you every single time. Your results are going to show and tell every single time.
Wholesaling real estate is really, like, when it boils down to like its bare bone structure, it's all numbers. It all comes back to numbers, and I'm going to explain to you what I mean by that. Most wholesale businesses fail because they don't have enough leads. If you don't have enough leads, that means you aren't talking to enough people. And if you aren't talking to enough people, that means you aren't making offers, because the only way to make an offer is to talk to somebody, a good offer. And if you aren't making any offers, you aren't getting any contracts. If you don't have any contracts, you don't have any closings. So we see how it all goes back to leads, and it's all in each one of those numbers. Each one of those figures I just described was a number that needs to be paid very close attention to. So if you're in a wholesale business and you're not getting leads every day, for one, that's a big problem. That's literally like having a body without water going into it.
I used to not believe in this stuff, but the physical reality that we see with our eyes is an illusion that we create based on the thoughts that we think all the time and the beliefs that we have. And all a belief is a thought that just reoccurs, right? So when we start changing our thoughts, we change what we see. Because I always tell people, like, you don't see with your eyes, you see through your eyes. You see with your mind, right? Yep. So if you start changing up here, the outside will reflect what's going on in here. So even with business, if you're a business, you're wholesaling, right? If you're always thinking, oh, what if I cancel this contract? What if I cancel this contract? Oh, I can't get a deal. I can't get a deal. What are you focusing on? You're focusing on the fact that you can't get a deal and you're going to have to cancel a contract. So what are you already anticipating, and what is your attention and energy going to? Canceling the contract and not getting a deal. How can you help get your first deal? One of the biggest mistakes I see people make is they say, I'm in 5 different markets and I'm trying to do wholesaler outreach, agent outreach, and direct to seller. Pick one market. One market. You don't know which market to pick. Is it going to be a market you potentially eventually want to buy in? Do that market. Is it a market where you see a lot of activity? Do that market. Are there Keighley's in there? Jamil's company, Keighley, does a lot of market research. If they don't have a franchise office location in that market, there's probably a reason for it. So that's another way. It's like the Starbucks effect for multifamily is the Keighley effect in wholesaling. So pick your market. Then pick your outreach method. Direct to seller, direct to agent, direct to wholesaler. Don't do one or the other. Don't do two. Do one of them. Focus on one. It's 3 different business models. Which one can you choose? That's up to you. Do you like to call sellers and build those relationships and rapport? Do you like to work with agents, get referrals? Do you like helping? Because direct to wholesalers, a lot of helping, a lot of hand holding, a lot of nurturing. Figure out which one you like the most. Do one market, one outreach method. Stick to it for 90 days straight. Do not waver. Do not stop. You got to be consistent. You can't be 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off. It's consistency, determination, persistence, and a bunch of positive thoughts. Focus on your mind. Mindfulness is the key.
I love it.
Everything else comes as a result.
By the way, everybody on a daily basis should be posting a video or a picture that says, I buy houses. Send me your deals. Send me your deals. Send me your deals. All right. Everybody should be building up their referral database. It's incredible. I talk about this all the time. Imagine if you had 30 people, just 30 people, agents, friends, title companies, hard money lenders, anybody, whoever, referring you one deal a year. Imagine that. And the average deal size, if we were really going on the low end, is 10,000. 30 deals at 10,000. That's $300,000. So definitely do not be quiet. Give yourself permission to turn your phone around and film something every single day that says, send me your deals. Watch what happens. All right.
The issue, which is what I'm getting to, is you don't have enough leads. That's the biggest issue. And you're learning from people who aren't teaching you that lead volume is the name of the game. If you don't have volume of leads, you will never build a pipeline. You'll never close consistent deals if you're only doing things that allow you to get one deal at a time. You're cold calling. Even if you cold call 2,000 per day and you get one lead per day, guess what? That means you're getting, on average, based on the industry standard, you're getting on average one deal every month and a half.
Of those 10,000, how many people did you reach out? Well, I've gotten like 200 of them. Dude, no wonder you haven't gotten the deal. You've got to make these numbers work. You're the person who has to push it through. So when you get a paid list, think about it. You have to go contact, so you have to shoot bigger. Remember, the two biggest cures in wholesaling are tons of leads, quality leads, and a ton of action. If you can do those two things, I can teach anybody wholesaling. But if you whine and cry and you manipulate how you're going to use the definition of stuff, I can't help you because those are excuses. You can either make an excuse or you can take an action. You can't do both.
So the number one issue is lead volume. You guys need way more leads.
Think about this. A real estate agent needs about 60 hours of education to get a license and about $1,200. A barber who cuts your hair has to have 1,200 hours to get their license. So somebody who cuts hair has to go to school 20 times longer than a licensed real estate agent. And you guys are expecting a licensed agent to actually understand how real estate works?
Not only that, but they're not even taught how to comp pace.
Bro, how can you in 60 hours? I was going to do a whole documentary about, hey, let me break down what I learned today in my real estate school. I was going to go to school that day, kind of journal, do a YouTube video at the end of the day. Like, here's the replay. You guys want the audio of what I learned today? Show me anything that actually tells me how to be a real estate agent. You don't learn that as a real estate agent.
How many square feet are in an acre?
43,000.
Well, don't tell. If you know how many square feet are in an acre, put it in the chat. Put it in the chat. We're gonna find out who these agents are real fast.
I used to not believe in this stuff, but the physical reality that we see with our eyes is an illusion that we create based on the thoughts that we think all the time and the beliefs that we have. And all a belief is a thought that just reoccurs, right? So when we start changing our thoughts, we change what we see. Because I always tell people, like, you don't see with your eyes, you see through your eyes. You see with your mind, right?
Yep.
So if you start changing up here, the outside will reflect what's going on in here. So even with businesses, if you're a business, you're wholesaling, right? If you're always thinking, oh, what if I cancel this contract? What if I cancel this contract? Oh, I can't get a deal. I can't get a deal. What are you focusing on? You're focusing on the fact that you can't get a deal and you're going to have to cancel a contract. So what are you already anticipating, and what is your attention and energy going to? Canceling the contract and not getting a deal. So I always tell people, one of the things I say every day to myself, I have a Post-it note. I always have a constant inflow of deals, and I'm always able to sell them to the right buyer. That's all I think about.
You're not as available as Tristan is anymore. I was like, you are 100% right. I just think it's hilarious that people will just call the person that instead of getting the idea in their mind that there are 1,000 Monique Walkers, 1,000 people will just text Monique Walker.
They're like, dude, it's like there's 1,000 like her. Like, that's the thing. Is that she's not. But she's not even the highest volume agent in Arizona.
How did this man make $1 billion and pay $1 in taxes?
Yo, I'm on the line with the guy today, and he said, not Bill Gates, Warren Buffett, either Warren Buffett or Bill Gates is like the largest landowner in the world or something like that. And Bill Gates, he don't have to pay taxes. But we don't know this stuff. And like the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, we think, oh, well, they're billionaires and they're being philanthropists. When no, it's a tax strategy. That's why I think it's important to grow with the money. Because some people will just make the money and we want the money to grow. But if you don't grow with the money will eventually come back to whatever level you're on.
Yeah.
So you have to continue to grow. That's why I am excited about this tax burden and the money that I have to pay for taxes, because I'd have never learned some of this stuff. And now, obviously, it's crunch time. It's end of the year. But now I know that in the very beginning of it's getting me like more innovative. I'm setting up one of my streams of income. I'm opening up another bank account, and I got to pick one of the streams of income that I have, and that's going to a separate account, and it's only going to taxes. So I don't even necessarily need to, take a chunk out every quarter or whatever. But if I have, let's say, I don't know, my YouTube money, right? YouTube money that's a nice income that I don't necessarily need the money every month. But if it goes to a separate account, I know at the end of the year, if I didn't touch it,
I always have a constant inflow of deals, and I'm always able to sell them to the right buyer. That's all I think about. I don't think about, oh, it's slow today. No. Today was a great day. I had a bunch of deals to comp, and I'm just getting better at comping. And then tomorrow, I'll have even more, and I'll sell as many of them as I possibly can. Because every day, there's always one deal out there. Every single day, there is one deal floating out there that can be assigned to you. You could assign a deal every single day. Yeah. Focus on that deal instead of the lack of all of the other deals not coming to you. It's really just a matter of what you focus on.
Well, it's an expectation, and I've heard it say we don't get what we want, we don't get what we need, we don't get what we deserve, we get what we expect.